Fantastic people over at Gryphon Europe were kind enough to send me one of their G18 Tour Samurai sticks for review.
The Tour series is Gryphon's top of the range high performance stick. It's well known for its stiffness and power.
Now combine that with the Samurai profile, which has a full low bow and a max bow point of 205mm up from the head of the stick, as well as a groove in the shaft and a concave face to aid flicking. So the first thing you'll notice when you pick the stick up is how light it feels. Now the stick that I've got weighed in at 510 grams and had a balance point of around 39 centimeters up from the head of the stick, so it's got a high balance point as well. Now these two aspects combined give the stick a very light feel in hand and a really nice balance. So the head of the stick feels very light and makes it fantastic for doing quick movements, doing V-drags or Indian dribbling round defender sticks. Now the stick is very stiff, which means it's not going to be to everyone's liking, but it means that the stick has a fantastically alive and responsive feel on the ball. You can feel the second the ball makes contact with the stick. Obviously if you don't cushion the ball correctly, because of that stiffness the ball is going to bounce off, but once you get used to the feedback the stick provides, it actually becomes a little bit easier to cushion the ball as you're aware the split second of the initial contact. You can start to control the ball. You can also use this excellent feedback and stiffness to provide great deflections and first time passes. The stick also features a concave face. Now this feature can be a double-edged sword, as it can both help and hurt your first touch. If you don't get into the right position, then the ball is going to travel up the stick towards your hands. But if you can get into the right position, the concave will actually cup the ball into the head of the stick and stop it spinning away. But if you get into the right position, the concave will actually cup the ball and hold it to the head of the stick and stop it spinning away. As I said at the beginning, the Tour range is known for power and this stick really hits hard. The light head and high stiffness means that you can get a high swing speed through, as well as a huge power transfer. The sweet spot on the head is a decent size and it's very easy to connect cleanly with no real feedback. Even when you miss the sweet spot you still get a massive amount of power on the ball and you don't get as much feedback as I would expect from a stick this stiff. The concave face does require a small amount of modification to your striking technique. As it does make it easier to get under the ball for flicking, it also makes it easier to get under the ball when you're hitting. But as long as you can compensate for this properly, then the Samurai is just as easy to hit the ball controlled as with any low bow stick. An area where this stick really shines is playing slider passes. Because of the groove and the bow, you can guide the ball to the head of the stick during the slap. This means you can put a lot of disguise on the passes very late, so it's absolutely fantastic for deceiving your opponent. You can also use the bow to roll the ball down and add spin, which means that you can get the ball to curve on long passes, so you can curve it into the run of a teammate or away from the outstretched arms of a defender. When it comes to striking on the reverse, the stick has a really thick reverse edge, which means it's beautiful for tomahawking. You can hit the ball very hard into the bottom corners effortlessly. Because the reverse edge is so thick, it can sometimes be difficult to get the ball to lift how you want it to, but with a little bit of practice you'll soon be firing the ball into top corners. The concave face does help with 3D skills, as it makes it really easy to get under the ball, and once you get the ball up onto the face, it's very easy to lift it into the air. The stick also has a thin toe, which means that 3D skills on reverse are equally easy. You can use that thin toe to really roll the ball up onto the cupped face and move the ball around with ease. Because of the responsive feel in the concave face, once you've got the ball in the air, it's very easy to perform aerial skills, like mid-air changes of direction or V-drags. With the shaping of the stick and the concave face, as I've said, it's easy to get under the ball. Once the ball is on the face, you can gently lift the ball over a stick, or you can fling the ball into the top corner with ease. With the control given to you by the concave face, you can really make full use of the shape of the stick. You can add power by rolling the ball up into the groove, and up to the maximum bow point before whipping through and launching the ball back down the stick and off the head. Because of the shape of the groove and the concave face, the ball is guided down the stick in a way that feels controlled at any speed, and this gives you real confidence to accelerate through the ball and add a lot of power. You can also use this control on any lift, whether it's a shot at goal or a lifted pass to a teammate. This stick is absolutely amazing for throwing aerial passes. Because of the concave face and the low bow, it's very easy to get the ball onto the stick. Because it's so easy, you can actually guide the ball up to the maximum bow point and whip through to add more power to your aerials, and it is effortless to chuck the ball 30-40 yards. Because it's so easy to control the ball as it rolls up and down the stick, it's very easy to be accurate with your overhead passes. You can almost drop the ball onto a teammate's stick from 30 yards away.
Drag flicking is really what this stick is made for. The concave face helps guide the ball and pick up into the centre of the head, which makes it very easy to control the ball and get it rolling up into the bow. Once the ball is rolling into the bow, you can really utilise the groove in the shaft to bring the ball up to the maximum bow point with ease. You can then whip through, and the groove works in reverse and guides the ball back down the stick to the head, where it's held on the concave for just a split second so you can really focus on accuracy and picking out those top corners. Because of the concave head, it's very easy to rotate the head of the stick forward a little bit so you can put a lot of power on the ball and keep it dead flat to the ground. This means it's amazing for putting the ball in for deflections.
Because this is what the stick is designed for, it makes drag flicking effortless. In basic terms, that means if you're a good flicker, it'll make you feel like a great flicker, and if you're a great flicker, it'll make you feel like Gonzalo Peillat. This is a fantastic all-round stick. It has the power for hitting, it has the responsive feel on the ball, and it is designed to make flicking easy, which means if a big part of your game is flicking, drag flicking and overhead passes, this is absolutely a stick that should be on your radar.